Good morning to everybody, and it's so nice. It's wonderful to be here. This is a very special time of the year that all of us look forward to, and I greatly look forward to it. Being and working in this world, we have this time of the year we can certainly look forward to. Well, brethren, all of us here, myself included, of course, during the years I have studied the Holy Scriptures, and you too, we sort of recognize a symbolism and images and numbers represented in the Bible. They all have hidden meanings, brethren, deep hidden meanings for all of us in the biblical statements that are made. So my title today is Divine Numbers and Symbolism. I wanted to read to you an example of the use of mountains. It's in Isaiah 2. If you'll turn there, if you like, Isaiah 2. I'm going to read verses 1 to 2. The word that Isaiah, the son of Amos, saw concerning Judah and Jerusalem, and it shall come to pass in the last days that the mountain of the eternal God's house shall be established in the tops of the mountains, and shall be exalted above the hills, and all nations shall flow to it. Well, brethren, there's a symbolism. Mountains representing a nation, a kingdom. Then there's the word stars. That's used quite a bit in the scriptures. Can represent angels. As I read on here, you'll see where that's taken. Then there's serpent. Now, I think we all know that serpent is representative of Satan the devil, starting from Adam and Eve's time. Okay, so Satan the devil's is kind of represented by the snake, the serpent. Our Father in heaven, brethren, used symbolism, images, and numbers for one reason, I feel, is to impress on the human mind what he is getting at, what he means. All of us know that a picture is worth 1,000 words. You know, we see a picture of something, well, we're going to remember that. We see pictures of our loved ones, pictures of our, I don't know, I guess our neighbors down the street. We take pictures of them, or people on vacation and so on. But we remember that. And that's the reason why he used symbolism. He used certain types of images, even during dreams, that he impressed them what he was getting at. So what I like to do as a starter on this, the king of Babylon, who was Nebuchadnezzar, he had a dream one evening, and that scared him so badly that he had to get someone to interpret it. Let's look at Daniel chapter 2 momentarily here. Daniel chapter 2. I'm going to read verses 31 to 35, okay? This was a great image he saw during his sleeping hours, but it really frightened him pretty badly. It states here, "Thou, O king, sawest, and behold a great image." This is Daniel interpreting the dream for him. "This great image, whose brightness was excellent, stood before thee, and the form thereof was terrible." Okay, this is Daniel chapter 2, 31 to 35. "The image's head was of fine gold, and his breast and his arms of silver, and his belly and his thighs of brass, his legs of iron, his feet part of iron and part of clay. Thou sawest till that a stone was cut out without hands, and smote the image upon his feet, that were of iron and clay, and broke them into pieces. Then was the iron, the clay, and the brass, the silver, and the gold broken to pieces together, and became like the chaff of the summer threshing floors. And the wind carried them away, that no place was found for them. And the stone that smote the image became a great mountain, and filled the whole earth." Well, brethren, Gentile kingdoms in this image is represented by this statue. And it was smashed to pieces. And it represents when our Messiah returns to this earth, it's exactly what he's going to do. His government, his way of life, his rulership is going to take control of this entire earth. And it's going to happen. As all of us see in our daily lives, we can look at the news, the internet, anything, and we see what's happening. World governments have become so corrupt that they build terrible weapons of destruction, and a lot of nations hate each other. So our Father in heaven, he sends his Son back at the right time. He's going to change all of that. And that's why this image portrays the end of the Gentile kingdom rulerships on this earth. Now, the Bible uses the number 7 quite a bit. The number 7 in the scriptures sort of implies a spiritual type of perfection, brethren. Let's look at Genesis 2, in the book of Genesis, okay? You'll turn there, go to chapter 2. Number 7 has a lot of meaning to it. Genesis 2, I'm going to read verse 2 and 3. And on the seventh day, our Father in heaven ended his work which he had made, and he rested on the seventh day from all his work which he had made. And God blessed the seventh day and sanctified it, because that in it he had rested from all his work which he had created and made. There's the number 7, brethren, right for a starting point. Now, the number 7, brethren, features, if you look at it throughout the whole scriptures, a rather perfect pattern going all through the scriptures. It's built into the weekly and annual festivals, which we know, the seventh-day Sabbath, which we keep and know about, and all the 7 annual holy convocations. So there we have the number 7. And then, of course, we have the 7-year cycle of land use, the Jubilee year of release. I want to read to you Matthew 18. Matthew 18. If you'll turn over to there. I'm going to read to you verse 22 here. Now, here's the situation where one of the apostles came to Peter came to our Messiah, that is, and he had the question here. He says, he said, my brother should offend me and sin against me. Shall I forgive him just 7 times? So our Messiah says, I say unto you, I say not unto you until 7 times, but until 70 times 7. Okay. In other words, he wants people to be forgiving all the time, many times over. He doesn't want people to hold malice and evil against each other. He wants us to be of a forgiving nature. Now, Revelation 1 in verse 20. The mystery of the 7 stars which thou sawest in my right hand, and the 7 golden candlesticks. The 7 stars are the angels of the 7 churches, and the 7 candlesticks which thou sawest are the 7 churches. There's that number 7 again there, that's used in the Holy Scriptures, brethren. Now, you might be interested to know that the number 7 is mentioned 463 times in the Bible. That's quite a bit. So it's an important number, very important. Okay, let's look at Genesis 5:4 for a moment here. Go back into the beginning of the Scriptures. Genesis 5:4. And the days of Adam, after he had begotten Seth, were 800 years, and he begot sons and daughters. And all the days that Adam lived were 930 years, and then he died. There's a group of numbers used there to denote the age of Adam, way back. Revelation 5:1. Go over to Revelation again. And I saw in the right hand of him that sat upon the throne a book written within and on the backside, sealed with 7 seals. There's that number 7 again. 1 Peter 3 and verse 20. Now here he's discussing the number 8. Which sometimes were disobedient, that is, the children of this time period, were once the long-suffering of our Creator God waited in the days of Noah while the ark was being prepared, wherein that in 8 souls were saved by water. 8 people. So this number 8 is not left out, brethren. It's very important. Now the 8th day, which we know is the last of the holy convocations during the Feast of Tabernacles, that day is extremely important. That represents a fulfillment of the coming kingdom age on this earth, that 8th day that we observe here at the Feast of Tabernacles. Now, there's also a number 12, which is important. Here's another number. This 12, brethren, I believe in the Holy Scriptures, is related to government rule. We have 12 apostles. We have 12 tribes of Israel. So let's look at Revelation verse 7. Okay, in Revelation 7, I'm going to read you verses 4 to 8. And I heard the number of them which were sealed, and there were sealed 144,000 of all of the tribes of the children of Israel. Of the tribe of Judah were sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Reuben, sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Gad were sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Asher were sealed 12,000, and so on, down the line here. Naphtali were sealed 12,000. The tribe of I'm trying to pronounce this. Manasseh, yes. They have a lot of hyphens here. They were sealed of 12,000. Of the tribe of Simeon were sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Levi, they were sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Issachar were sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Zebulun were sealed 12,000. The tribe of Joseph, 12,000. Of the tribe of Benjamin were sealed 12,000. Okay, there's 12,000 from each of those 12 tribes of Israel. Now, Revelation 21. I'm going to read to you verse 16 and 21. This is about the new city that's being come to this earth, the golden reed, as it's titled under. And the city lieth 4 square, and the length is as large as the breadth, and the measure of the city with the reed 12,000 furlongs. The length of the breadth and the height are all equal. Drop down to 21. And the 12 gates were 12 pearls. Every several gate was of 1 pearl. And the street of the city was pure gold, as it were transparent glass. So you can imagine what that's going to look like in the future. Well, brethren, This divine arithmetic, as I call it, and I use the word divine because it was inspired directly by our Creator through His servants to write it down for future generations to know what He means by it and to give us forewarning as to what is coming about in the future. So this symbolism and arithmetic, as I mentioned, it permeates the entire Scripture. It's backwards and forwards. You can see it many, many times. And it's a sure indication of the divine authorship of our Father in heaven. And it's happening now right before our eyes. Bible prophecy predicted it, and it's coming about. Our Father in heaven's authorship of all of this is right before us in our Holy Scriptures here, as we have them. And believe me, it all centers around, brethren, God's plan for salvation for humankind on this earth. And believe me, that plan is being carried out right now. It may not seem it worldwide because of what's going on, but He's planning and carrying out His plan to save humankind on this earth, and it's going to happen. And I can tell you this, it's on its way. It has to be on its way. I can see it, all of you know it, that the nations of this world are going to come under His rulership. I certainly look forward to it, and all the arithmetic and symbolism is a wonderful thing to know about, that our Father in heaven used to tell people for generations ahead what's coming, and that we will be there in the kingdom age rule.